Equity is creating a culture where everybody understands that everybody is different and providing the things that people need to do their job well, and compensating and understanding and doing all of that together. And that's fairness. And that's what a lot of this is about. So, rather than Alex Ferguson treating Ronaldo differently than, I don't know, Patrice Evra or Gary Neville, it's about treating everybody the same for the same reasons. Now, are those actually the same things? Alex Ferguson would say so. Alex Ferguson would say that Ronaldo wouldn't react in the same way that Gary Neville did, and therefore all he's doing is working with them, pushing the right buttons and creating a collegiate team. Other people would say you shouldn't throw boots at David Beckham's head. What it is that you want to do. So these things are subjective. And one of the things about this book is, and we're going to get onto criticisms in a second, one of my key issues with business books in general is they have some great information. They have some really good, solid knowledge to kind of transfer over to people. But what all business books do is they treat it very much like a black and white thing. This thing I am talking about, this culture code, is the solution to problems. And it's never not the solution, because if it's never not the solution, then why are you reading this book? So let's talk a little bit about the criticisms of the culture code. And when I say criticisms, I don't mean therefore it's crap and you shouldn't read it. What I'm saying is, from a critical perspective, what can we look at to see what can we learn from what it doesn't say? What can we learn from how it talks about certain things that maybe it didn't intend? So firstly, I kind of mentioned this, which is an overemphasis on small signals versus organizational structures. So the idea of this is, and it's called the culture code, so why wouldn't it be? If you have this great culture where everybody is trusted, everybody feels psychologically safe, and everybody can work and be collaborative and work as a team and feel really close, you don't need anything else. So it rarely goes into genuine organizational structures you will need. It doesn't talk too much about what happens when it goes wrong on an individual level, what happens when someone doesn't fit, what do you do about that, do you bend, all of that kind of stuff. This is the third issue as well, is that it's suitable for small teams, because in a small team of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people, you don't need that organizational structure to the level that if you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people. The culture code is great for small teams, but the problem comes as well, if you've got this amazing culture machine in one department, but you've not got it in every department, then that can be an issue. But then if you've got 1,000 culture machines all working together and no overarching structure, no overarching strategy, so the leadership is managing, you can then get siloing, you can get kingdoms, you can get kings and queens running around demanding things from other people, you can get wars. And so the culture code is great for a more an interpersonal relationship situation. But once you scale it, it seems to fall apart a little bit, because it's called the culture code and it's not called the appropriate systems and a blended mix of having culture and good HR department and a finance department and a more of an overarching leadership role. Yes, Navy SEALs usually have about 5 or 6 people in them. The Spurs have maximum 10, 15, 20 players. So it's easier to do on that. Another thing, and again, this is a problem that comes with a lot of business books, is what happens when it fails? And it's really interesting because the second part of the culture code is embrace failure, be honest and be vulnerable.